What is up, guys? It's Nick B here, and today is June 9th. We traded live, so we will be doing a recap of today. We did a lot of crazy trades, man. Today was probably one of the hardest emotional days I've had in a very long time. I was extremely stressed, was just like, don't want to day trade anymore if this is not going to work out, you know, because we had a ton of trading going on, but by the end of the day, we ended up $40 plus, which is not bad. But the reason why it's not bad and not great is because we actually started trading 2 contracts. So it's actually just 1 win on 2 contracts, a little bit less than 1 win with 2 contracts. But nonetheless, nice stuff. After fees and stuff, it's probably significantly a lot less. So you can see the trades just right there, all scrambled. How many trades did we take? Took 1, 2, 3. That's 3, but we exited that one really quick. 4, 5, 6 trades. So 6 trades total. So the reason this is hiding now is because I added Fallout, and Fallout takes up like it's cut off down here, so I switched it to this. I can always just, you know, just hit that switch and turn it back on to lock it there. But anyway, 6 times $1.42, because every trade costs us that, times 2 actually, so $17. So 40 minus 17 bucks, that's the actual profit. Wow. So, wow, it's a lot of fees, but nonetheless, we brought the count up a little bit, so the count's really just going to be at 700, which is not better than what we had before. We were negative, like, we went down negative 90, negative 100 to $40 plus. Hey man, that's a win if you ask me. Break even day, give me that. But yeah, we started trading 2 contracts because if you saw the previous video, we got super stressed, like, and so I just funded the account like madly. I know, like $300 something in there, just to trade 2 contracts, and not to trade 2 contracts just because I was just like, meh. And yeah, it's probably the worst approach you can do for day trading. I prefer patience and stuff, but let's go right into these trades. First trade right off the bat, this comes in right around here. Not sure why we sold there. I guess it was a different setup at the time. There was a swing low, first entry, second entry right here, and we went for the sell. We should have went for the buy. So here we had a level of resistance. If we take a look at the minute chart, it was an actual level of resistance. Where is it? Right here. It's pretty clear right here. As you can see, that's a clear level of resistance. And so once you start pushing up above that, you got 2 legs up, go for the buy on the 1 ticker. And if you're still doubting, you kind of have like staircase eyes, so that could also be a good reason. But that is enough to declare the overall uptrend. Then once you get the 2 legs up, there was supposed to be a new swing low here somewhere. I don't know where it went, but nonetheless, and you get 2 legs down. Looks like overall trend is going to be down at that point. If you take a look at 930 right here, you can see that level of resistance. That's going to be overall trend down, especially with that. And overall trend is going to be down. You go for the buy. I thought it was staircase lows, but it's not staircase lows because you have this rising congestion, and there's like a lot of congestion. And staircase lows really come from when you know where people's lows are. No one's putting like buying this move up and putting their low right here. They're putting it all the way down here, or maybe even right there, but not at that point right there. And even then, we didn't even cross that point, so we're not even in that staircase low. So it's just overall trend down at that point. And we sold here because I thought this was I didn't think this was a level of resistance, but it is a valid level of resistance. Shows a little bit on minute chart, and even more so I mean, a little bit on the tick chart and even more so on the minute chart. Then we had a double bottom, first entry, second entry. The bars look a lot different here versus when I was actually turning. Yeah, not even here does it look correct, but yeah, basically double bottom, first entry, second entry, and we went for the buy, thinking that once we broke above this level of resistance. Oh wait, we skipped a trade here. On the swing high, first entry, second entry. Oh yeah, no, we didn't. So that was overall trend down. Go for the buy. That's gonna be overall trend up. And I thought this was gonna be a strong level of resistance. But the thing about this one is that it could be looked at. I don't know. This one's a tough one. This one is the one I'll just like, bleh, you know. Double bottom, first entry, second entry. Overall trend should be up, so you should go for the sell, but we did treat that as a level of resistance though to declare an overall downtrend. Actually, you know what? Hold up, let's reverse. When we first started this trading, this strategy of whichever side has the most support, to declare the overall trend, that didn't become a level of resistance once you broke out of it. So this is just enough evidence to declare an overall downtrend. Don't confuse that as an actual level of resistance. That's something we have to to continuously. I've been using the word regurgitate wrong. Maybe I've been using it correctly because I still don't get it. But yeah. All right, it's the downside versus the upside. Which side has the most support? To one leg or two legs? That this evidence is not that great, but this, don't use level evidence and actual support / resistance unless it's actual as confirmed tests. This needs to be freaking highlighted. So don't use evidence as actual support / resistance, and in this case this is one of those. What's going to be the overall trend here at this point right here? Well, it's going to be down because there's enough evidence to declare a downtrend. Even though we use that as evidence, it's not going to be an actual level of resistance because we only tested it really one time, and this time it's maybe up in the higher highs right here. So once we start pushing up there, it's not a level of resistance that we broke out. It was just evidence we used for downtrend. So it's going to be an overall uptrend, and you go for the sell. Man, that's it right there. All right, then you got a huge spike, and then these are not staircase lows like we've learned, and we went for the buy, and that was a great buy, as you can see. Good trade. We exited early because I wanted to get in on the next trade here, and good thing we did. Or maybe it was another trade that we exited early, but anyway, that was buy, sell, then swing low first, double bottom, first entry, second entry. We should have sold up here on the swing low, first entry, second entry. But nonetheless, it works out either way. Overall trend is just up. You hit this level of resistance that has only been tested once, as you can see right up here. And yeah, it was only tested once. Overall trend was just up. And I think especially with the volatility, it just didn't have any volatility at that particular area, at least for me. So we just treated the overall uptrend and went for the sell. Then you had and you got the scalp, then a swing high. First entry, second entry. Looks like a non-obvious sell would work here. Nope. If you declared an overall uptrend with enough support here, but anyway, the next trade we take was this buy right here, and we sold here, sold, bought. Oh no, this is trade we broke even since we were trading 2 contracts. All right. And then we sell here at this high. Bought here. Let's see, what did we do? Oh, there was a second entry that's not showing up here for some. Oh yeah, because let's switch this guy. I think at this point we're somewhere here, and there was a second entry here. Swing high, first entry, second entry. Kind of actually matched up with the minute chart. It's not matching up here for some reason. Yeah, there's a swing high, first entry, second entry, and it was a non-obvious sell. Because it had enough support to declare an overall uptrend. I think it was right here actually. Bada bing, bada boom, double bottom. Yep, right here. So as you can see, that's plenty of support right there to declare an overall trend, not to necessarily use that as support. So overall trend is going to be up. Go for the non-obvious sell, and beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. You can see these scalps came out 2 different positions because our scalp strategy is still a little weird. Our second scalp is 2 points further, and as soon as it hits 1 point further after hitting that first scalp, our stop loss comes to where our first scalp out was. So there's some slippage, so we just always get stepped out right there. But I kind of like the strategy. I don't want to just leave it at break even, because then this is gonna happen where where's that trade? Oh, right here, where we bought and then sold right here and bought here and then bought right there and basically break even. But we didn't basically pay for that tax because I scalped out 1 point extra. If we did leave it up here, we would have got the entire scalp, but nonetheless, we gotta adjust our strategy. Not adjust, but really gotta stick to it and remember the things we've learned. If we did that, I think today would have been super profitable. And I have to really consider how we're gonna approach profitable days. I think even after we hit our 2 first trades, we might keep trading to like 3 trades or 4 instead of just stopping the day early. Because the way we're approaching this, we are only profitable because after those 3 first losses, let's see, that first loss, the second loss, what was our third loss? Sell, buy, so that one kind of counted, then sell, buy. So that was the 3rd trade right there that kept us in. So after that 3rd trade, I think we have to cut out early because like that's gonna be the last attempt to be like, all right, this is break even or not. But yeah, let's see where our stops are. So 34 ticks, right? So essentially 34 ticks times 0.5, because each tick is worth 50 cents. So $17 times 2 for 2 contracts. It's 34, so times 3. We're getting stopped out 3 times in 1 day. That's a mega loss versus this break-even profit here, you know, versus how much did we scalp out? 12 points. So what's 0.5 times 4? So $2 for every point. So basically 12 times $2. Oop. Times 2 equals, which is obviously 24. So $24 times 2 times 2, $96. Actually, that's not too bad. If we added the 3rd trade there, it would be 48 times 3, 144 minus 1 full day of loss, which is 102 plus. Oh wait, yeah, plus 2. I'm having a brain fart. $50. So that would leave us $50 over or positive, just about, minus whatever like 142 times 2 times 3. $42 a profit. So that's with 3 winners versus 3 losers, gives us $42 of profit, which is pretty good. But getting 3 winners in a row is pretty dang difficult. Did we do it today? Did we? Buy. Yeah, we did 3 in a row. I noticed our strategy started working around 9:40 again. So maybe the whole 8 o'clock thing might be causing our strategy to not work so much. But if we stick to the strat, I mean, it basically works out, right? Well, I think that's gonna be it. I already forgot how these trades went. So I'm gonna run it through my brain one more time. So this first trade right here. So well, first entry, second entry. This was a level of resistance, so you want to continue that. So basically you'd be buying right there, and that would have been it. Then you got 1, 2, 3, and then that was like, there was a level of resistance there. Overall trend's gonna be down, go for the buy. Then swing low or double bottom, first entry, second entry. Overall trend gonna be up. We're hitting this level of resistance. Not really, it's kind of inconsistent. It's not a level of resistance. We have this high tested here, then this high tested, and this high tested here. Not really, I wouldn't consider it. So overall trend is just up, so I'll go for the sell. That's a tough one. No, overall trend is just down, go for the buy. Double bottom, first entry, second entry. Oh wait, no, swing low, first entry, second entry. Overall trend is up, no levels of resistance. There's this, but it's only been tested here. Kind of inconsistent test, right? Yeah, because that's not really anything. Random high, yeah. So overall trend is definitely up. Sell. Good trade. Overall trend, then double bottom, and then oh yeah, this second entry, non-obvious short. Yeah. So yeah, strategy somewhat works, but just really have to focus a little bit more. But I think the thing that's gonna really make the whole thing profitable is if we're able to obviously do the correct trades, but even more so, something that's going to help us is being able to figure out or manage our stop loss or when to stop trading on a given day, essentially. So I guess if we do, basically what we can do is if we have the 100-day loss, right? 34 ticks times 3, $102 loss, right? Then the next day or whatever, our goal is to make up for that. So we would do 3 trades. We would do those 3 trades. Then again, that brings the inconsistency, like, oh, you could have had plenty more profit already. No. Well, if it happens, then it happens. It's a tough one for sure. I'm gonna have to calculate, think about it at least. And since this video's already 20 minutes long, might as well make it a little bit longer while I think out loud. Yeah, 5 days in a week. Let's say break-even day. And you get a full day of loss, which is $100. Don't go for the 4th trade. Then the next day, you have another one. Then the next 2 days, you're gonna try to break even, essentially. So we just basically have to have less days of loss, which is extremely difficult, but I think it's we could take those days and turn them into break-even days essentially. It's just that third trade. If you if we get 3 in a row, you're basically done, you know, and that's the price we have to pay for being a bad trader. But the thing is, we have to get 3 right every single day. A profit at least. Or we just stick with 2. I think sticking with 2 is okay actually. Because if we move it to 3, there's a greater chance of, you know, making it negative. Then you also have a chance of making it more positive if you actually hit 3, because then you would be making $144 a day compared to 96. And if that day ever showed up, you would be still above $48. So I guess 3 trades, it is. 3 trades. Yes.